3.
This podcast is brought to you by pets. If you don't have any, well, that's okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rocket Lounge podcast. Today we have the 3 surviving members of Rockitech. Myself, Dick and Balls, also known as Nick. Michael, also known as Laughing Ghost. And Matt, also known as the Deadman Hatter. Welcome,
Hello.
friends.
Welcome. Yes, we're the last 3 survivors, and if you start to wonder if we killed the rest, well, we were acquitted, so stop asking.
I have never, ever been convicted of murder, and I can say that very proudly. And
You would need a body to be convicted of murder now, don't you?
I think you could have footage of a body. Maybe you could have samples. Remains of a body.
How much constitutes as a body? Like, how much of a body do I need to be convicted? Because if it's just a thumb, I could argue the person could still be alive. They're just missing a thumb. And then I feel like that could also go up to all 4 limbs. You find 4 limbs, well, they're a quadriplegic. They're still alive.
I hear in Yu-Gi-Oh, if you get all 5 limbs, right, all 5 pieces, you get the Egyptian god, right? So it's
Exodia?
Like, yes, exactly. So it's the same thing in a courtroom. If you find 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, then you can convict.
Put them on. No. That's funny. The automatic conviction if you have all of them.
Immediate win. Everything else
I think
overruled.
this wasn't one of the topics. It's hard in my head.
Hey, you're the one who brought up the
It's true.
missing
You did.
crew as deceased.
I did, because you can't get convicted. You can't get tried twice if you were acquitted.
Yeah.
So I could bring it up again.
This is true. I think actually, if you were to kill somebody and you were acquitted or convicted, you can't be tried again for killing that person again.
Yeah, that movie with I don't know what it was called. It was like double. What is it called? A double.
Indemnity?
No, shit. This
Double
is gonna kill me.
Penetration?
The movie is called what the actual law term is. Double Jeopardy. That's what it's called. Thank you. Double Jeopardy.
So what is double indemnity? What is it?
In Double Entendre?
No, double indemnity. That's another one, isn't it?
That's a movie with James Bond.
I don't think so, but I like James Bond. Well, anyway, moral of the story is you shouldn't kill. And speaking of things you shouldn't kill, pets. We've all got them. Some of us don't have them. Michael, you can start this one off. You have news on the boundaries of pets.
I do. I have a puppy now. It is a female Shiba Inu. Her name is Yuzu Ponzu, or Yuzu for short.
Yuzu, yes.
Yuzu is...
Like the Nintendo Switch emulator, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. Not the Japanese citrus. It was specifically after the Nintendo Switch emulator. And I've had her for about 2 days now. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah, she's still alive. That's a new record for you, right? 2 days?
It is.
Yeah.
2 days. Yep, 2 days. Let's see if we can go 2.5. Oh, that'll be something.
So where did you get this dog? Did you find it on the street? Did you rescue it? Did you breed it inside a lab? How did this come to be?
So actually, Marie and I were at a bar. It was one of those speakeasies, right?
Yeah.
And in the back corner, they were doing poker. And I was like, hey, I'm not much of a gambler, but, let's go check it out. We go over there, and what do I see dealing the table? A fucking 8-week-old puppy. And I'm like, all right, if I beat you, you're coming home with me. And then the dog just looked at me because it can't talk. So I took that as an agreement, and I won because she has no thumbs, right? So she couldn't flip it over. So legally, she forfeit. And that's still technically a win. A win's a win, baby. And so we brought her home. It's a 2-hour drive. She didn't puke. And now she's got a bed and a cage and some water and some jujubes. And she bites the tags off stuff.
That's adorable.
And she licks windows.
I've never had a dog before. I know I've met other people's dogs. I've been chased by dogs. What would you say? How would you say? Say again?
I was gonna say, are you a mailman?
No. I'm a thief, so I often go in backyards. So how would you say your life has changed with this dog so far? Like, has it become cumbersome? Has it been enriched? What do you have to take on now that you have a pet?
You know what they say, you don't experience true love until you become a parent. Much like every, adult parent says to everybody, oh, you don't know what love is until you have a child.
I feel like
I've been getting up. What?
I feel like the spouse might be a little upset. You don't know what love is until you have a child. What about me?
Right?
You were just so I could get the child.
Right? Or your parents, your sibling, anybody really, a really good friend. Hell, even the burrito I had the other night. I loved that thing. And then it died in my stomach. And it was delicious.
Well, you know what? That's what true love is. You get it, you enjoy it, and then you poop it out.
I was going to go with, that's what true love is. You just want to consume it so quickly, and then you realize you did it too soon, and now you've got a lot of gas. And you just need to let it out. You got to let that love out.
God, no wonder. My wife's always saying I'm full of hot air. Hey, come on. I don't respect around here.
Oh. So I've been getting up at like 5:30 a.m. But that's not entirely solely on because of the dog, because I've been filming at like 7 a.m. So it's a twofer. 2 birds, 1 stone. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Michael is a professional porn star, isn't that right? The dog is actually part of your new routine.
Yep. I use her as an introduction to, I'm a quote unquote dog trainer, but I don't train dogs. I train the people. And by people, I mean the porn stars. And by train, I mean screw.
Yeah, it's like one of those, like, the GIMP sets, right? Like with the leashes and all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I don't like the black latex. I prefer a hot pink one. Like, I really just, the hot pink is what does it for me. Otherwise, there's no fun in it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel like that really brings out the inner star in a person. That nice sharp pink color really contrasts very well. Because the black, it's a little bit dreary, and then obviously with some stuff it contrasts a little bit too much, if you know what I mean.
I will say all of my pornos are very tasteful, okay, and very artful. Every scene, I'm reading literature. Lately, it's been a lot of Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. What? I'm sorry. What the hell does that have to do with porn?
No, I'm saying I was using it's artful because I read Edgar Allan Poe during the scene.
Is that how you get going? His dark twisted. Hey, my cousin's got tuberculosis. All right, let's do this, ladies.
Yup.
I don't know how to feel about that. Well, all right, that covers the artful aspect. How about the tasteful? So, what does it taste like?
The book. Well, it's very fibery, old. Tastes like ink. We're trying to come up with smell-o-vision. You can really smell the scene, but all of the testing has not gone well. Everybody says it smells awful.
Yeah, it's probably like the smell of sweat and shame, I would imagine.
If you hear whining in the background, that is the puppy. She does not like being in her playpen area. For some reason, she's in there, right, and the gate's open. She's fine. She's chilling. But as soon as we close it, she's like, why am I in prison? What have I done to you? And she'll whine. And I don't know if she still has separation anxiety from her, her mother and her siblings. Sheila Enos are supposed to be very loyal. And yeah, it's only 2 days, so we'll see. I try to play with her as much and take her out. But every time we let her outside or let her inside the house and she can explore, she just wants to run to the back, screen door, and if we let her out, she'll try and run up the steps in our backyard and try to go underneath the fence into like the park area. I don't know if she thinks that's where her family is or something, but it's very sad.
Oh, God, that does sound sad.
There's,
Well, speaking of sad things, Matt, you're a sorry sad sap, right? How you have any pets?
yeah.
Yeah, I have a pet. Got a dog.
What kind of dog? Is it a girl? Is it a boy? Is it
Girl. Breed, I have no fucking clue.
Let's play the guessing game. I know next to nothing about dogs, but what color is it?
Goldish yellow.
Goldish? Could it possibly be a golden retriever?
Nope.
Is the hair long?
Short.
Short. How short are we talking? Like buzz cut?
Yeah, give me a moment.
Does it have floppy ears? Where did he touch you? I probably wouldn't even be able to tell you the
Hold
dog's breed
on.
if I knew. I'm trying to guess here. I'm trying to think about.
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm picturing one of those ones you'd see on like a porch that droops over the steps. You know, it's like waiting for a duck to come by so it can go eat it.
We've been putting the pet pigs in the Astro and Kappa.
Wait,
Yes.
What?
Wait, say that again?
The pet pigs.
You have pet
In
pigs?
which server?
In the group one,
Yeah, I think Richard made it and started putting his cats in there.
yeah, the one that got bombarded by that personality test
Personality test?
or
I have to look
personality
at that.
traits.
I gotta look at that. I haven't seen it in a while. And right now I'm feeding the dog out of my palm of my hand.
Oh my God!
The power of the sun
This thing is
in
so
the palm
cute.
of my hand.
It's so small and adorable.
Who, the cats?
No, the little doggy.
Oh, yeah.
He's licking the glass. Richie, you're gonna have to cut this part out. I know you'll hear this in edit.
Oh, make a break for it.
I'll just send
No break.
images directly to you, Bone, and Michael.
I don't know what dog this is.
Yeah, as I told you, I'm not.
Let me check.
Wait,
I'm
those
gonna show you.
are those two different dogs?
Nope, same dog.
Damn, he looks so different. What happened to him?
Wait, where'd you post it?
He sent it
I
just
tried
to
to
me.
just send it to you directly.
I don't see any messages.
He only sent it to me. He likes me the best.
No, it's. I'm trying to send it to Michael through direct
I am
messaging,
blind. It is blind.
and no, it's not sending.
Interesting.
Basically, failed to send a message.
Here, I just sent it to Michael. Michael, do you
Why are
see
you
it?
running? Why are you running, girl? She's running around. She wants to jailbreak. All right, I got a message from Bo. It said, "Oh, look at the dog. That's the same dog, really?
Yeah, right.
Both of those
So I
images are the same dog.
The lighting makes it look completely different.
Yeah, well, one's by what's it called? By door to my room. One is sitting on my what's it called? Or just chilling on my bed.
No. Oh, god damn it!
What's the matter? What's
I'm
happening?
just gonna let her finish and pick it up. She pooped in the bedroom.
That's not good.
Oh, and she peed.
Yeah.
Okay. She didn't whine to the door. She didn't whine at all. That's what I find interesting. Oh my god, that smells.
Do you want to deal with that first? Come back.
Yeah, if you can mute me.
All right. Yeah, I can mute you on my end. Yeah. All right. Do we know what kind of breed of dog that is, Matt?
Nope.
All right. I don't know how to.
All I know is she's a mix. That's all I can say.
Let's go on.
I don't know
an
what
adventure
mix. Just
Yellow dog
mix.
breed.
So
mix. That's not it. It kind of looks like it could be a mix between those two. It's got a... Ooh, maybe that one. It could be a Labrador Retriever. That looks very similar. Let me see. All right, Matt, you have to let me know when Michael comes back, because I have him muted. But until then, Matt, so tell us about your dog. What is your dog's name?
Nala.
Nala. And how did Nala get the name Nala?
I'm not the one who named her.
Who named her?
The dude who, brought her over.
And who was that?
A family member / friend. It kind of gets complicated on that.
Gotcha. So it's like a I want to say
a friend that's hung around us long enough that we just started calling him family.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the boil down point.
So Nala, does Nala mean anything, or is it just a nice name?
The only reference that I got for you is Lion King.
Lion King. Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, what do you think you would have named the dog had it not already been named?
I didn't put any thought in it, so it's like.
Well, do you like animals? Have you ever wanted a dog before? Like, how did you feel?
I've had other pets before.
Okay, so how did you feel when you got this dog then?
Indifferent.
Indifferent.
I usually am.
So you've had other dogs before, other pets. So what else have you had?
Cats, dogs, fish.
I have had what would you
birds.
say your favorite or your weirdest one is?
Honestly, the only thing that I could probably think of as weird is a bird. But then again, that's a fairly common pet too. As I said, dogs, cats, fish, birds.
I've never had a pet fish, but I've had a pet gerbil, a pet hermit crab, 2 ducks, 2 different turtles, a snake, currently 2 cats, and that's all I can remember. The hermit crab I returned because I didn't think I could take care of it. The gerbil died. It ate some plastic and fucking died. 1 duck we let go. The other one walked off the porch and fell very far and then snapped its neck or something and died. One of the turtles, I don't know. He died somehow. The other turtle we've had for more than a decade. His name is Mo. He's still alive. But the other turtle, Larry, he passed away. In the past couple years, we had a snake. It was my dad's snake named Lum Lum. And he was really friendly. My dad found him in the wild. He's this really long snake, black, white underbelly. We always fed him mice. And he, you could pick him up and he would like wrap around you and he'd like slither around. He was like a really friendly snake. Later in life, his eyes, like he got like cataracts or whatever. So he would bite if he thought you were food, but as soon as he realized you weren't a mouse, he'd let you go, which was usually pretty quick. But he was a very nice snake. The 2 ducks we had, Squeaky was the first one. My dad like nabbed a baby duck, and it was called Squeaky because that's the sound it made. It was like, and then it grew up and it started quacking. And then the second one we called Quacky because we're like, oh, okay, it's gonna quack when it gets older. That was the one that died. The gerbil I had named after myself, Nick Jr., so that was not good. I don't even know if I named the hermit crab anything. And we currently have 2 cats. So my mother got a cat from a shelter named Cinnamon, who currently has diabetes. So we have to give her like insulin shots and shit. She eats all the time. She kind of always did, but now more than ever. I think it's because of that. But she's really nice. She's very sweet. She's not like as affectionate or playful as she used to be. She's kind of lethargic, but she's very nice. And then a cat, Bobo, who got really, really fat. So my brother and his girlfriend were driving down the highway, and they saw this like Asian dude like dancing around in between the dividers, and they're like, "What's he doing?" And they look over, and there's a kitten there. So they go over, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm trying not to make sure it doesn't go into the highway." So my brother and his girlfriend take it. They bring it to the house, and then my roommate at the time, Matt, he ends up adopting the cat. But Matt moved out, and then we ended up adopting the cat. And that cat, they do not get along well. Like, the little cat loves the bigger cat, but the bigger cat hates the little one. So Cinnamon hates Bobo. Bobo loves Cinnamon. She's very playful, very energetic, actually plays fetch with Nerf darts. But she takes after Cinnamon. So Cinnamon now eats way too much and sleeps all the time. So now Bobo's gotten fat because she eats too much, and then she starts laying down all the time. So we need to get her exercise. But she loves to run around. I know what she'll do is she jumps on the corner of like the walls in the house, like these pillars and whatnot, and like will climb up them, hold on, and then like climb up higher and higher, and she'll leap off. She's nuts. Michael.
I'm back.
Yes, hi, welcome back.
I've come in fewer poops.
Good. I come in many flavors.
I only come in one. Rancid.
Rancid. Don't knock it till you try it. You never know.
That delicious flavor of the month. Rancid. Once you try it, you're not going to forget about it. Because that shit will scar you for life.
You'll try it once and never again, but you'll never forget it.
Exactly.
Yeah, the only type of shit I have is damn near lethal.
Lethal?
Oh yeah, you don't want to be going in after me. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Or at least if you do, have a gas mask.
Well, that's why you get Poopery. Today's sponsor is sponsored by Poopery. Just kidding, it's not. It's a good product though. You could destroy a bathroom. Destroy it. But if you put Poopery down first,
dude, there's other brands of that. One that tickles me the most is the what was it? Unicorn Gold is what it's called.
That's weird.
It's by the same dudes that made the Squatty Potty.
Wait, I think I have.
I think
I've seen the trailer where it looks like it's like unicorn poop coming out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. I saw
the same dude with the same fucking unicorn, they just plug a suction cup and suck up its farts.
That's what I do. Do you not have a toilet plunger suctioner thing? Very popular in Japan.
I know. I got a thing of that Poopery stuff. I lost it somewhere in my house, so maybe somebody used it. So I can't personally vouch for if it's good or not, but I know
it is good. But it is. I think it's like Kleenex. Like it's the one of the more expensive brands, but because it was like the first one of its kind, that's what when you think of that type of product, generally most people will go with that. Like Kleenex, you'll say, hey, can I have a Kleenex? Some people do. Some say tissue paper. Some use it interchangeably. Kleenex and tissue paper. Kleenex is a brand. Tissue paper is what the actual product is. Much like, oh hey, I got Potpourri. That's the brand. And then even I don't remember, like the dumpster bins. That's one of those things is like that is actually the brand, not the type of thing. I don't know. I don't remember if it's a dumpster bin. It's one of those like big things that you throw trash in. One of the names. It's like, oh hey, like go toss it in blank, but that's actually the name of it.
I don't know. I actually haven't really paid attention too much to dumpster brands, believe it or not. As shocking as that might sound. But I know I do that all the time, though. People like say things like, hey, I need you to Xerox this for me. You know what I mean? When it means like scan this or fax this. Or I say all the time, yo, give me a Lysol or Febreze.
I wonder if fax is one of them.
What?
I wonder if a fax is one of them.
A fax?
I wonder if that's... I feel like there was another one I can't think of.
Well, faxing is you fax a piece of paper. That's not a brand. Xerox is like the brand.
Yeah, Xerox. I think that might be it. That might be what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but people will say like, "Hey, can you Xerox this for me?" You know, or I say, I need some Febreze or some Lysol. I don't necessarily need either one. I just need some disinfectant, and that's what I call it.
There you go.
But usually 2 syllables, is easier. Febreze, Lysol versus disinfectant.
Or bleach, you might say, it's like, hey, let's bleach this asshole, not let's Clorox this asshole.
Yeah, I mean, some are more catchy. You ever bleached your asshole before?
No.
No? How about you, Matt?
Nope.
It might surprise you guys to know that I have not either.
I've been what's the term when you're like I've been somewhat accomplice to a bleaching of a goldfish by accident.
Oh no! What did you do?
A very, very long time ago, I was visiting my grandma. I don't remember what happened. I'm assuming it was her because I was a child. Somehow Clorox or bleach got inside the fish tank where this goldfish was, and it survived, but it turned white.
Oh my god!
It legit survived for a long time, but it went completely white.
God damn!
I hope it wasn't like
Lucky
suffering
fish.
forever. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
he was a super.
What color was it before?
Well, goldfish color, regular.
Well, wait,
Orange.
no. What is regular color? What does that mean? There's no regular color.
It's called a goldfish.
Yeah, but what color is it?
Orange.
So why is
It's
it
a
called an
regular,
orange fish?
stereotypical?
Yeah,
Goldfish
goldfishes are typically orange.
Yeah, but why not call them an orange fish then?
Because back then, people didn't know what orange was, and they thought it was gold. They called it goldfish. I don't know. Because it's the damn gold industry trying to sell you more fish.
I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I mean, I feel like if they can change color so easily, I mean, they could be goldfish, but they're actually orange, but you can make them white. Why even name it after a color in the first place?
Hey, there you go.
I accidentally killed a goldfish once. Now that I think about it, but
See, I just bleached one.
yeah, no, I did worse. I overfed it to the point where I basically dumped all the food and it covered the top, so I guess it couldn't go up for oxygen. I mean, I know that they're underwater or whatever, but I think whales do the same thing.
Yeah, they don't need oxygen.
Well, I did something. The fish died. So.
Sink or swim.
Oh, it stopped swimming. It definitely sunk. You just saw it kind of like float there down to the bottom.
Don't you hate it when you have several beta fish in a fish tank and one of them accidentally gets hold of a gun and then just murders the rest of them?
I don't think I've had the same experience with fish as you've had. Something's fishy about your story. Haha.
Nah, dude. Basically, beta fish are often referred to as Chinese fighting fish.
Fighting fish?
Yeah, they're very aggressive.
They are highly aggressive. You put them in with other fish, the other fish are going to die.
What's wrong with these fish? What's up with them? Who raised them?
They're just a highly aggressive fish.
Yeah, but there's got to be something in the genetic code. Like, do they have to defend their homeland before? Or are they racially profiling? Like, hey, you look different than us,
I have no idea.
Do we have a fish whisperer? Anyone? Michael, you've probably had the most experience with fish.
Yes. As the fish whisperer must say, never bleach your fish.
Never bleach your fish. I'm asking about talking to them.
No matter how much they want their assholes bleached, you do not go with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting any sort of chemicals on fish, whether it's bleach, whether it's Lysol, Febreze. Definitely don't Xerox a fish, while we're on that.
Well, hold on. There are some chemicals you need to put in a fish tank to maintain, like, the pH or whatever the hell, is ideal water climate for the fish.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to be, like, you have to clean it out, right? So you put certain, there are certain, like, chemical, hold on, Chemicals.
Why no?
Safe
We have a
chemicals for fish tank.
We have a turtle. We don't like put any chemicals in it. We just use a bubbler, so the air like filters.
There's
out
there's it says fish need. So there's an all-in-one water conditioner, whatever that is. You know, if you want to condition your fish's hair, and then you've got the gravel cleaner, and they're all fish safe.
And what's in it? What is it exactly?
I'm trying to see because I know with like pools you need like what is it? Chlorine and it starts with a B. It's not borax. What is it?
My name is borax.
Bromine. I mean, I just googled it. Bromine. Don't feel bromine, kids. Not even once. Where'd everybody go?
We're right here. We're waiting for you to tell us about these chemicals. You're the fish whisperer.
Well, I whispered. If you couldn't hear me, it's because I whispered.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because we didn't hear you. I know one time I was out deep sea fishing. We were catching fluke, and one guy caught a baby shark.
Baby shark, do 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 do.
No,
baby
not that.
Shark, do do.
Please stop. We had to throw the shark back in the ocean. He wasn't allowed to keep it. You're only allowed to keep fluke of a certain like size or whatever. I never caught any that were of size, and then obviously the shark is not a fluke. That would have been interesting though, to have a pet shark. I don't know where you would have put it, but it's neat. You guys ever been fishing before?
Yes.
Once.
Once? Wait, hang on.
When I was younger, many times.
Matt sounds more interesting. Let me hear your experience. It must have been really bad for you to never do it again.
No, it's actually just happened a really long time ago. I'm almost barely able to remember it.
Well, tell me, what do you remember?
Going to a river with my uncle and casting a line out and just, what's it called? Sitting there, and that's it.
That sounds really uneventful. All right, Michael, your turn.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's why I kind of stated it. It's more of I barely remembered.
I have quite a few fishing stories. I know one time I caught a catfish, and I was really proud of that. It was like one of the first times I went.
No,
fishing.
actually, no, I didn't.
What's that?
Tell the story. Did it eat you? Catfish get pretty big. You see those pictures?
No. It didn't eat me. I never took a picture. I was young. It wasn't a big fish. It was not too much bigger than a sunny or a what is it, a bluegill? And that was at the lake. So my dad has a lakefront property. And my brother actually also caught a catfish, but the one he caught was dead. So I thought was really funny is he buried it on land instead of just throwing it back in the water. Just seems very ironic to me. Another time he cast a line and he got it stuck on a duck.
On a duck?
On a duck,
Sounds
yeah.
awful.
Yeah, so he had to like get it off because it was like on its wing. The duck was like, "Mah, mah, mah," and it was trying to get away, which was making it stuck more. Yeah, that's not good. I like ducks. We have 2 pet ducks. That was not one of them. I know there was also around my dad's. There was this cat we called Kitty Raw that came around. It was really friendly. And one time, whatever, we were fishing and it got scared and it just like zipped away super fast up the steps because the reel went like. Yeah. If you ever cast a line before, I mean, Michael, you've used fishing rods, right?
I use shotguns and grenades.
Shotguns to fish?
And dynamite. No. Yeah, I used to fish a lot when I was younger. We lived in you're probably not gonna know where, a place where fishing was commonplace.
Oh, you mean the water?
They had like this man-made lake. Matt, you know where Hesperia is.
Possibly.
Kind of like, let's just say within an hour of San Bernardino. Like towards Victorville, that area.
Again, I possibly know of it. I didn't go outside most of the time, remember?
Yeah.
That, and I normally didn't pay too much attention to directions and all that.
Speaking of directions, do you remember when you had to print out fucking MapQuest?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm silent, so I guess that's showing me and Matt our age.
No, I mean, I never really had to. I grew up in the era where you had smartphones or GPSs at least. I never really had to deal with. I mean, I remember would have parents printed out directions and whatnot because those were still becoming more commonplace. But by the time I was driving, I was lucky enough to have smartphone, GPS, and all that stuff. I know my dad; he has all these different maps of how to get around and all that. And I just don't think I could. I'm already bad with geography, so if I had to live in that world, I'd be screwed. I'd be constantly lost. I'd probably end up in some shithole and get shot, and my car would be stolen. There you go, showing you my age. Now we're even. All right, let's move on to another topic. We've been talking about fish and shit for too long.
Fish and chips? I love those.
No. All right, listen here. Kids, drugs, don't do them. They're bad. Michael, I want you to tell the kids about all the drugs you've done and how you regret them.
It's actually funny because you essentially described the game plan of DARE. Because they were always like, don't do drugs, and now we're going to list all the drugs and what they do to your body.
God, I think the DARE program worked backwards. All it did was teach kids about drugs at an earlier age.
Exactly. It didn't work.
It was not a good program. I know my brother, he went in one of the DARE programs. A police officer was teaching it, and then afterwards he looked out the window and he saw the cop smoking a cigarette. After he's saying don't smoke and drugs and this and that. And it's like, wow, what a hypocritical thing, Me personally, I don't drink. I've probably drank maybe 5 times in my entire life. Once was for my birthday. Once was for this tasting class I did. 2 different Christmas parties, and that's all I can remember. And I've never been drunk before. The most I've been is, I guess, buzzed, where I couldn't stop laughing. Because in that tasting class, I actually hadn't eaten all day, and we were tasting wine, and I drank too much of it, and I just could not stop laughing.
There you go.
At a Christmas party, I tried, whatever this butterscotch, but I could always taste the alcohol. Even though it tasted good, I could still taste the alcohol. And normally I like to daydream and think about stuff all the time, but this completely removed my ability to daydream. Because I now, all of my motor control, all of my thought and thinking had to go to my motor control, because I would look to the left and everything was blurry for a few seconds before my eyes aligned. And I'd take a step and I'd be like, okay, I have to go about this very slowly and be careful. And it was like that for probably a next half hour to an hour. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to let this simmer. Let me go eat some pizza or something. Probably took me about 5 minutes to walk across the room to get to the pizza. I felt very accomplished that night when I did reach the pizza, but I don't like being intoxicated. I don't like the taste. It doesn't feel very good. How about you? Well, you guys have drank before, right? You've been drunk off your ass?
Nope. Oh yes, in college.
Tell me about it.
Well, some of them I forgot, so I can't.
How about the ones you remember?
Oh man. I'll tell you a funny non-drunk one. I was really tiny growing up. I was a late bloomer. I don't think I hit puberty till I was 17 or something. And so I was very tiny. And in college, my freshman year, I think I was 118 pounds. But I could out-eat my friend who was 6'4". Super fast metabolism. And then one day, so there's a very, very popular place called Freebird's Nachos. And they're called Freebirds. And they have these nachos that are just amazing, especially if you're drunk. And we went there sober. My friend was like, I bet you can't finish an entire thing of Freebird's Nachos. And these things are huge and packed. I'm like, you're on. Here's the thing. I don't like cheese. So he ordered the nachos. He packed it full, and I'm sitting down. He's like, "You have an hour," and so I'm like, "All right, let's go." And so I start eating, and I take the cheese and I ball it up and I put it to the side, and because I'm like, I don't like cheese, and hold on, you get the doggy. Ugh. And where was I?
You were talking about.
I start eating, and I go to town on that thing, and I'm almost done. I'm like, I finish it essentially, and I'm like, I'm done. And then my friend's like, no, you forgot about the cheese. And I'm like, fuck. And I look, and there's this hardened ball of I'm assuming it was mozzarella, or like a 3 cheese blend thing. And I was like, crap. And I had like less than 10 minutes. I think it was just a couple minutes left. And I'm like, all right. So then I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it all in one go. And I put the whole thing in my mouth, and I start chewing, and I literally can't. And then I just puked, and I puked what looked like guacamole.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Michael.
Sometimes.
How do you not like cheese? Cheese is the devil's gift to us. Is it like a dairy thing? Is it like just specific? Is it?
No, I can do dairy. I literally just don't like cheese. Chris is the same way, but he's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, I lactose and I'm intolerant, but I can eat cheese. No, I like it. I mean, I would.
Yeah,
have,
cheese is too overpowering, and I hate the idea of a cheeseburger because then when I eat it, all I taste is the fucking cheese. I hate it with a passion. I get a tiny bit offended if I'm at a place and I ask for a hamburger. They have 2 separate items. They have a hamburger and a cheeseburger. I ask for the hamburger, and then they have the audacity to ask me, do you want cheese on that? No, I don't want fucking cheese on that. That's why I ordered a hamburger.
Yeah, I feel like those are 2 very distinct things, and that's kind of like a dumb question.
Yeah, it's like, why have them separate if you're going to ask me if you want me to put cheese on a hamburger? Because they just assume, oh, you're American, everybody loves cheese.
It's kind of like asking like for a Coke, and they say, do you want that diet? Like, no, I wouldn't ask for that, dumbass.
Ooh, I hate Costco food court drinks because all of their drinks suck, and I don't like Pepsi, and their Pepsi's always flat.
I've had I know they had a whole bunch of different things I've tried over the years. They've had like a pierogi stand. They had like a chocolate milk stand. This fucking, I guess it's like a hummus dip I had on crackers, which I thought was good, and then we bought it, and then I never
Hummus.
Hummus. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hummus. Now that I think about it, there was some crab.
I like hummus.
Crab dip.
There's another one that's like hummus, but it's like called something else, like goulash or something.
Yeah, I've heard of goulash. And the gulag, that's a type of prison. That's different. Pay no mind to that. I guess that's irrelevant. I don't know why I brought that up. Well, going back to the drunk story. So let me see. I don't really have any other drunk stories. In terms of like stories of like drugs and stuff, I mean, well, I guess I have some downer stories. I have one, a friend of mine, they were doing this event called Stumbly Bumbly, where basically none of them drived yet, or even if any of them did, they all had to walk because they were intoxicated. Basically, the idea was you would get hammered from wherever you were, and then you'd walk all the way to the person's place to meet up, to then get hammered again, and then you'd walk home. And what ended up happening, right, so these friends who had been friends for like several years got into like some argument about like the way they were walking home while they were drunk, and then they like separated into 2 different groups, and like at least 2 of them didn't talk to each other for like the next 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. They had like a drunk argument. They were just
I played because you were talking about going to the other place.
Yeah.
You ever heard of either Tour de Franzia or Edward 40 Hits?
Neither of those, actually.
All right, which would you like to hear first?
Tour de France. But wait, before you tell me of the Tour de France, let me tell you one more thing.
Okay.
At Stumbly Bumbly, the one guy, right? He like so some of them were smoking too. So he was high. He was sitting on the chair, and the other guy, we'll call him Bill. Bill was throwing slices of cheese at him, and they were like whenever it would hit him, like it was sticking to his face, just like slices of like American cheese. And actually, he throws like 3 different pieces are stuck to his face. He just looks over him. He says, "If you throw one more fucking piece of cheese at me, I'm going to come over there and rip off your dick." And so like a few moments goes by, and Bill gets the great idea to chuck the entire rest of block of the cheese, just wail it at his face. Just boom! And oh god. Yeah. Those are not the two that didn't talk to each other anymore, surprisingly. No, they're still friends. Alright, go ahead. Tell me about the Tour de France.
So that's a game, college thing, where you know what a box wine is?
It's a box with wine. I hear they're bad.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it has like 7 bottles, like 5 to 7 bottles worth of wine, not great wine, in the box. And so what we did is we had a bunch of us, and we would get a couple of our places in Ivy is where the college town I was at, and we would get some of our apartments, and we put 1 box wine in each place. And we would have a group of like 10 to 20 of us. And we would go from place to place, and you cannot go from one place to the other until you finish the box wine in that location.
Oh, God. That sounds...
So it's, a lot of heavy drinkers in college.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There's also a lot of us. 20 people easily can kill a box. It's like a glass or 2 each.
Sounds like a drunk's Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, and then Edward 40 Hands is this one's more ratchet than the Tour de France. Yeah, so you get duct tape or tape, ideally duct tape, and you get you know what a 40 is?
Yeah, it's a 40 ounce of alcohol, isn't it?
Malt liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're supposed to get 2 40s, 1 for each hand. You hold them, and then you have somebody else tape the bottles to your hands. And you cannot get them removed until you finish both 40s. And I did it once with Marie, my girlfriend, and my roommate and my friend at the time. His name was Garrett, and he's this like 6'1" big dude, big guy. So we went to. So first of all, Marie doesn't like beer. She likes Blue Moon, but like most beer, everything else she doesn't like. So what we did. Sorry, this dog's trying to fight me. You want to go? What we did is Garrett and I went to. I don't think it was Trader Joe's. I think it was a local Ralph's or something. And we were looking for the 40s, but they were out. We were like, what? And all they had were 32 ounces. So we're like, fuck, or what are we going to do? So we bought a bunch of 32s. And then we were like, okay, if we shotgun 1, was it 1? No, if we each shotgun, was it half? We did the math to where we had a 32 on each side, and then we shotgunned the difference. Which is like, 16 ounces or something like that. So I think we each shotgunned like half a 16 ounce. Or half a 32. And then we taped, Garrett and I taped our hands together. And then Marie, she doesn't like it, so she did water and vodka. Because, she'd rather do hard liquor, I guess. And then we started. And my friend's a big guy, so we had just shotgunned the difference of the beer. And then he like kills his 232s, like very quickly. Like by the time I finished 1, it was ridiculous. And then, he takes it off, and then he continues to drink. And then I'm still, working. Then I'm like, wait, I need to pee. And so I'm like, I had the foresight. So I wore, what do you call those? Not slacks. What do you call them? Like pajama pants?
Parachute
What do you call
pants.
those?
No.
Kind of.
Are they, what are they? Sweatpants?
Yeah, thank you. Sweatpants. And so I'm in the bathroom for 5 minutes trying to shimmy my pants down so I could freaking pee because you're drinking beer. It's gonna go right through you. And then he finishes. He keeps drinking. And then I finish mine. Marie finishes hers, and then we had a party to go to that night. And in that span of us playing the game and before the party, I witnessed my friend Garrett consume the most alcohol I've ever seen somebody consume in my life. It was close to like 150 fluid ounces of mostly malt liquor. A ridiculous amount. And the party was, I think it was like Super Bros and, no, like Super Hoes and Villain Bros or something like that. Like superhero, but like, a college party. And he didn't have an outfit. So I said, I got it. You wear one of my shirts. Again, he's big, I'm tiny. I said, you put on one of my shirts, and you just look like you're shredding through it like the Hulk. And so I give him one of my shirts, and then I go get ready, and then I go back to Garrett's room. I'm like, all right, let's go. And he's passed out on his bed in my tight, small T-shirt. And I'm like, okay. And then I go to the party, and then he stays asleep.
That reminded me of a story that my friend just told me recently. So we finally got together for like a Christmas gift swap in January, and he was telling me of a story when they went down the shore. I think it was to like Atlantic City or something. They were all going gambling, and one of their friends got like so piss drunk, and they ended up like they were in an area they weren't supposed to be. I think in like a pool area, and he was like asleep. Like on a chair he wasn't supposed to be, right? And then like the security guards like start walking over, and he's like sitting there and he's like thinking to himself, do I lay here? Do I try to act cool? And so he ends up getting the genius idea to quickly sprint past them and try to hop over the fence, which does not work. They end up grabbing him and like detaining him, and meanwhile the other guys are like, all right, we have to play this cool. We have to act like we don't know him. We'll come and save him later. We'll figure this out. And they end up getting called by the security people. They find out like it's their friend or whatever. They're like, hey, we have your friend. We don't really have a place to keep him. Can you pick him up? So they show up, and he's like literally like he's got vomit all over him. He's in a wheelchair because he can't walk. He's like that out of it. So they wheel him back to the hotel room. And he almost got them, like he could have gotten arrested, and then they could have gotten them arrested and like paying a fine for like trespassing. So they sat his ass down in the fucking hotel room. They like handcuffed him to the wheelchair and say, you stay here. We're gonna go enjoy the rest of the night. And he's just in there fucking like just covered in stinky smelling vomit. That's all I remember. They told the story better. I'm a very bad storyteller. I've learned this. Matt, I'm sorry. You haven't had anything to say. What do you have any?
I don't have any stories like that.
Oh yeah. What about anything to do with drugs or smoking? Words of advice to our young viewers. I'll tell you something. When I was younger,
drug-wise, I've taken painkillers, which is an opioid. I've never gotten addicted or anything further than that.
That's good, because the opioid crisis is like the worst in America, I think, compared to all drugs.
Yeah, considering how easy it can be to get over-the-counter pain meds to OD on. But back in California, I had tried weed. And I will state, I'm not a big fan of where it puts my head in at the time, if I don't have anything productive to do, to say the least.
I've never been high. I've never done any drugs. I've never smoked anything. But I know, at least just from my experience with a small few with alcohol, I don't like not being in like a right state of mind, because then one, I can't do the daydreaming, but it makes it harder to like just use my body, and I want to be at my fullest and in control all the time. That's something you can't really do if you're like under the influence.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like you could daydream at night anyways. It's nighttime.
No, while I'm awake.
Well, all I have to say is with the weed, you might be able to keep yourself in a relatively stable state of mind. It just depends on how you used it.
What does that mean? How else do you use it?
Not necessarily what type of person you are, it's what type of people you associate with to help you learn how to get the drug to work for you.
Oh, raccoons. That's the only type of... just feral raccoons and squirrels.
Yeah, for me, it was a very good pain mitigator.
Yeah.
It basically dulled a lot of the pain when I was working at Amazon. But if I did it recreational, which I've only done it once, I do not like the feeling when I don't have something to do.
Well, let me ask you, say it dulls the pain when you're at Amazon. Is that because you had an injury, the work was hard, or it dulls the pain?
Oh, no, it basically... Where I worked was I unloaded... Basically, our warehouse unloaded trucks, sorted them, and loaded trucks back. One of the areas that you can work is what they called non-con. Basically, the heavy-ass shit the machine doesn't want to sort. So after a while, your feet and your back start hurting.
Gotcha. So they were useful for that. I was thinking at first you're like, oh no, the horror of working at Amazon, and you wanted to null the pain of knowing you were employed by Amazon.
Hold on, you're not wrong there. You might have been wrong in reading what he was saying, but you're not wrong. You know how many people came out saying that, they would get penalized for for using the restroom, so they would pee in freaking containers?
It depends on which department you're in, and some
the non-higher ups.
They can be stringent on some things.
Extremely. They had a bunch of people post proof online. It was on the news a little bit.
Oh no, I'm not denying that, but it really depends who your managers are, in a sense.
I remember
they all have the same quota. It might vary slightly, but
Yeah, but at the same time, it's
my mom works for
certain people might not be pushing so hard as such. I didn't have too many issues on things. I got my.
If they're gonna push me that hard, they better give me Viagra.
But yeah, they are. Hurry up and get this done. Hurry up and get this done.
Yeah, that 12-year-old kid in Idaho needs.
They literally have rules on how to stack these things. After a while of working the non-con, that kind of becomes a little bit of guidelines, but you still have to stack it stable. After a while, I shifted to just pulling shit from where they were and loading them, getting them in front of the trucks that they needed to go on. Half the fucking pallets that I moved were utter shit.
How so?
Do you think in the future, kids are gonna find a correlation between Santa and Amazon? All the workers are gonna be the elves. You make a wish list to Amazon that checks it twice. Gonna find out whose payment to use, because Amazon is charging you up the ass.
Jenny's been very good this year. She's getting 2-day shipping.
She's getting 2-day shipping. Oh, Billy was bad this year. We're gonna give him an Amazon Basic, and also one of our guys is gonna shit in the box, and he's gonna thank me for it.
But yeah, they do overlook safety issues.
Yeah, how so?
And when the COVID shit hits, let's just put it this way. I'm talking about when it first fucking hit, when the lockdowns happened. Amazon workers were classed as essential workers. You're supposed to stay 6 feet apart, correct? Some of the walkway literally had
vertically or horizontally?
Crab or lobster?
Really?
Well, no. You think I'm joking, but if you go to, how many times have you gone to a store or a place of business and they say 6 feet apart, like in front of you, but then you're standing 2 feet to the line on your left? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I know. Trust me. Our walkways basically had us doing shoulder to shoulder at times.
Yeah.
There was no way to do 6 feet apart in that building.
She.
I remember when Amazon, they introduced those crying booths, right? They compared them to the suicide booths from Futurama.
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah, I'm just kind of stating, yeah, this is, it can be bad. I'm just saying what I used the weed for was literally dulling pain that I had trying to do my job.
Yeah, that's not good. You should never have to resort to drugs because your job sucks.
Hey, at least it wasn't addictive, like using actual painkillers.
Wait, what if I'm a prostitute? Can they do it then?
I mean, you're taking different things into your body. You don't have to worry about taking drugs in.
No. What if I have to do the drugs so that I don't get that weird 12-hour shift dip taste out of my mouth? Richard, bleep that out.
Hey, don't bleep out the obvious part. Bleep out the amount of hours.
Keep the hour thing in. Bleep everything else.
Yeah.
That way it's just some weird context. Beep, beep, beep. 12 hours.
With my mouth. I had painkillers when I got my wisdom teeth removed. Those things were insane. I took 2 of those and I was fucking out like a light.
Yeah.
That was me when I threw my back out, and they gave me Tylenol with codeine and some muscle relaxer. And I can, I thankfully didn't get addicted, but I totally understand, like, why there's such an issue with, prescription painkillers and shit. And the shit's like, I think they need to lower the strength to just, regular people. They do way too much.
It's so good though. Like, if you're like, I need that shit when I get sick.
It's just so good.
No. I mean, like, when I say good, I mean like it really fucking works. You know what I mean? Like, I advocate against drugs. Use them as little as possible, only in like dire need. But like, when I'm sick, it is unbelievably painful. If I just had one of those fucking things, that would improve like that week of horrible sickness immensely. You know what I mean? Just being able to like have something that could knock you out and send you to sleep, kills the pain. But no, you can't get that in the store. You spend fucking $12 on a thing. Yeah, here, take 3 of these and maybe it'll stop your runny nose. No. But I try to go for natural stuff before anything else. If you can't sleep, drink some hot milk. If you have a headache,
milk.
Yeah, milk. It's a sedative.
I don't know about that. I put milk in my coffee.
Coffee has caffeine. The milk will not overpower the coffee.
No, I had warm milk when I was younger, and that never worked on me.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done it.
Even now, I have some like sleep issues. Sometimes I'll have some pretty bad insomnia, and normally I don't take medication because I'm allergic, like ibuprofen, which is a great thing because I think they had. I was watching the news and they're saying like the number one cause of like liver damage is like for over the counter stuff like Tylenol or ibuprofen.
Because it's hard on the liver.
Exactly. And I'm allergic to that shit anyway, so I usually just have to tough it out. But with sleeping pills, like I'll try melatonin, doesn't work. I'll try like valerian root, which is natural, and that won't work. Sometimes it will, but not really. But the thing that knocks my ass out is Kirkland's Costco brand sleeping pills. I have to take like half a pill. That thing, like, if I take that pill, I'm sleeping for at least like 8 to 10 hours, like straight, and then I'm gonna wake up still tired, like super sleepy.
What's the name of this again?
Costco. It's called like Kirkland sleeping pills. It's Costco's brand.
Maybe I should try that. I need, cause fucking melatonin. All it does is give me headaches. NyQuil makes me wake up after 4 hours. Never tried Benadryl. I know Matt. He used to take children's Benadryl because apparently it's stronger than the one it is for adults.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what he said. And apparently it worked for him. So, but definitely.
It could also be a placebo thing.
I don't know.
Could be a placenta thing. That was a bad joke.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I didn't. I got a joke for you. This has to do with alcohol. When I was younger, my dad played softball, and all the guys there, they would also drink while they're playing softball. So I was taking the beer cans and I was rolling them up so I could do like a bowling game with them using a softball in the cans. And the one guy comes over and he says, "Hey, you can't do that. That's alcohol abuse." And I didn't get that it was a joke as a kid. I just got really scared, and I thought I wasn't allowed to bowl anymore.
That's hilarious. I got one.
Good.
Wait, I just forgot it. Hold on.
You're home. Good.
All right. Do you want to know what's a joke?
Sure.
You say what?
What?
You want to know what's a joke?
What?
My life.
Shush. Here, take the sleeping pill. You'll feel better.
Well, I actually did take half of one because I need to be asleep like an hour ago because I wake up at 5:30.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Which is in 7 hours for me.
Well, I think we had a pretty good run here. We talked about pets and drugs and Pornstars.
Wait, how long is it? Because in case Richard wants to cut a topic out, he has a lot of time to work with.
God, I wish I could tell you, but this doesn't say how long it's been recording. I'm wrong. It's been recording for almost a minute.
What?
An hour and 7 minutes.
Okay, an hour and 7.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Want to go? We'll go for another 2.5 minutes. We'll give our closing thoughts.
All right.
All right. So, guys, would you ever do porn if given the opportunity?
100%.
Probably not.
I would. I'm not sure about porn, but I did actually apply to join an NSFW voice acting group. I didn't get accepted, but I applied. I watched this one dub, and the guy who was doing it just was like so into it. Like he's like, "My cock is 20 stories high," and I'm like, I want to do this.
You just reminded me, I have a somewhat porn-related story involving my acting career.
Go ahead, tell me.
So this is when I first started. Within the first
that's how they get you when you're new to the whole thing.
Exactly, right? I was in this room and they told me to take a seat on this black couch and there was lights and I'm like, what's that camera for? Anyways, like the first 2 years I started doing it, acting, and then I finally gotten to that point where typically you have to like put the work in and you have to do free stuff to build a reel, right? Because they're not going to hire somebody who doesn't have experience and blah blah blah. So you have to start doing like free stuff, which is usually like student films or low budget indie film, like stuff like that. And then I got to that point where it's like I'd done all that. I had my reel. I started getting paid gigs, decent pay. And then so I applied to myself. I had an agent, but I was applying to gigs myself. And then I remember getting a email from one of the casting websites that I used, and that's the one I still use today. And one of them was talking about the project was called Playboy's Cougar Club. So the Cougar Club or Cougar Town, one of the two. And they wanted me to audition because I'm young for I look very young for my age. decent look, enough to get commercial work. Commercial, at least commercial okay looking. And they were talking about, you're gonna have to unrobe during the audition, and if you get the thing, you're gonna be in a party with these cougars. Maybe you get in a hot tub. If something else happens, we'll pay this rate. I think it was like $1,000 or something. They're like, and if you happen to wind up in one of their beds, we'll give you a bump in pay. And it was just, it was the funniest thing. I was like, I'm flattered, but no.
That sounds amazing. I would have taken that in a heartbeat. That sounds like an adventure.
I was/am still in a relationship, so I wasn't gonna.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, at that point, I don't know. You're like, sorry, babe. I might have to bang some older women.
I'll be right. I'll be home tomorrow. I have to go treat my elderly well.
You're gonna cheat on me? You want my acting career to succeed, don't you?
Did you not know Denzel did this?
Denzel plowed lots of women in his time. I need to do the same.
Leonardo DiCaprio was the Leonardo DiCaprio of Pone. Come on.
I know you said DiCaprio, but I kept thinking Da Vinci, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I am tired. I am not thinking straight anymore. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in this episode. Richy, I want you to title it Pornstars and Puppies and leave it to the imagination.
What about Pornstars? ? Puppies? ? Then Pornstar Puppies? ?
There you go. Double down.
Oh, boy.
How to get podcast. Episode 1: How to get your pets to love you, and also how to get them to love you.
Oh no! Do you love puppies? Are you in love with puppies?
Prove it. Buy my book.
Puppies and Cougars. Oh god. Okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode of the Rocket Lounge podcast. I am Nick.
I am Laughing Ghost / Michael.
Matt the Deadman Hatter.
And I am Nick. Signing off. Thank you.